Okay, so
It's recording now.
So we've got two members of the public in attendance. So if we acknowledge that, one of whom I understand is videoing the meeting. So and at the moment we have two councillors who aren't here yet, presumably delayed for work or personal reasons, but hopefully will be here soon. So first item on the agenda is election of the chairman, including signing of declaration of office.
Can I nominate Wendy if she's prepared to stand? Okay.
Yes, Martin, that's fine. Yeah, okay, that's fine.
That's
Then
fine.
I'll serve as chair for another year.
No choice, did she? Sorry.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. So, in which case, welcome to the meeting, everyone. I don't really have any more to say than that. The next item on the agenda is election of vice chair. I know that Becky did it last year. She isn't here, bless her, to defend herself because she's on honeymoon, but I think that she would be happy to do it again, so I would like to nominate her. Would somebody like to second? Okay, so Sue is seconding that, so Becky will be vice chair again. Apparently, I'm getting ahead of myself here, and we need to vote on that. So yes, so anybody in agreement with Becky being vice chair, please raise your hand. Fine, that's carried unanimously. Thank you very much, Becky. I apologise. Have a happy honeymoon. Right, now on to the public session. Do either of the two members of the public have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. I sent an email to Carol today about it, but asking her what the procedures were and whether I'll just get in front of the camera because I just need to show that I'm a member of the public.
Yes, okay.
Okay, so what I'm raising, and I know I've got 3 minutes or something, I saw your Hunston voice.
Yes.
Now, that said that there was antisocial behaviour and most of these were related to vehicle issues.
Right.
Now, you didn't specify on there what these were, but I know that 2 years ago I was frightened witless down at the Green Lane T-junction,
Right.
when I was waiting. In fact, I should stand up while I'm doing this. While I was waiting for a stagecoach bus.
Right.
It was a rainy day,
Okay.
and vehicles could have easily skidded into me.
Right.
Because the bus stop there is just so small, and I'm a member of the golf club, and I know that young teenagers go to the escape rooms there,
Right.
and I've been told that sometimes groups of 5 teenagers are there by themselves, standing on that bus stop. Now, last year, on July the 7th, I actually wrote a letter to Stagecoach and to West Sussex County Council Highways. I think I got an email back saying what did I want done, but this is the letter, if you would like a copy of it,
Right.
asking them why something hasn't been done, because there's going to be a fatality there if nothing is done. Now, recently, the surface of the road is terrible. Have you been down there, Wendy? I think it's on your boundary, on the parish boundary.
If it's on the highway, then it will be a
West Sussex.
highways issue.
I know
It's
it
not
is,
a
but I
parish
mean, I
thing.
know that this is I'm concerned about it, so it's a kind of issue I can bring up at the parish council. Now, I'm worried that some young people are going to get killed there, because the surface is an absolute disgrace at the moment.
So, can I
Well,
ask,
they are
what is
going.
your question, Hilary?
My question is that this letter was addressed to West Sussex County Council. I did get an email response, but then I said, what do you want to do? And I told them what I'd like to be done. I didn't get a response after that.
Right.
So I'm raising that with you at the parish council, because it seems that West Sussex County Council haven't been liaising with me on this matter. And I don't know why, because the golf club at that escape club, the driving range, they are getting a lot of teenagers there to go to that escape, and it's a danger for them because they can't drive yet.
No.
And I just worry that somebody's going to die there.
So,
And I'm also worried about the juggernauts coming through, because I get absolutely frightened stiff going through this B road
right,
down to Selsey, to Nature's Way and to Seal Bay. They're just too, and to Asda, they're just too big for this road.
all the parishes, I can assure you from the meetings I go to with other parishes, all the parishes on the Manhood Peninsula
Yeah.
have the same concerns.
Yeah,
None of us have strong enough powers to be able to do
No,
anything
no.
about it.
I know that.
We're always directed to highways. If there's
Yeah.
any problems with the road, we have
Yeah.
to go to highways.
But I'm raising it because you have influence sometimes.
oh
and
no, that no.
there's
I'm
no
really
West Sussex
sorry,
County
Henry.
Council thing,
but I-
your district council.
I work very closely with Sarah Sharp,
Yeah, because she had a copy of my letter.
who's the Green Council,
Yeah.
District Councilman. The most important thing is that you log it on West Sussex County Council website, and then you'll get a reference.
Well, I can't work out their website.
Well, other people do,
well I
and
can't.
even I've managed to do it on a matter in Hunston. So, and I'm not. I agree it's difficult, but it's really important that you do,
Right.
because that way they have to respond to you.
Do you mind if I
And it's
turn the
like,
camera?
no,
Do
you can't.
okay.
I'm fine talking like this.
All right.
Thank you. So it's your responsibility. I agree that the parish council, it's really important that they know, and having been on this parish council, they're very active in following up.
Right.
But it's certainly the individual. I will raise it too, but I'll repeat it, it's really important that you take responsibility.
Well, I hope
for it
other
too.
people, because other people must have concerns, I'm sure.
Sarah did say at the last meeting something along these lines, I believe, or something was mentioned, and she signposted us then to the West Sussex site. That is
Yeah.
the directive that West Sussex
I
have
might
given.
go to the library then to help for them to help me to do
Yeah.
that, because I mean I'm quite tech savvy.
Yeah.
I used to edit an online website, so I'm quite
Yeah.
tech savvy. But I find it difficult.
Yes, but that
and I'm
is-
sure other people, members of the public do too. To
Yeah.
be honest with you.
But that is how West Sussex want it done. That was the instruction to the county councillors.
It's because there's an
to
audit
pass
trail.
on to us.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
And
but,
they have to respond. If you go on there and do that,
Yeah.
they have to respond to you. That's one of the rules of
Okay.
that setup.
but they have emailed me, so they are aware of my letter.
Yeah.
But they just didn't, after they said, what do you want to see done? And
Yeah.
they said, well, I want people to get together and work out a safe route. I haven't heard a reply.
Can I
No.
just say something a minute?
Yes, Martin.
Following the committee that Sue and me are on, there's something I was going to bring up in any other business any case regarding the roads around this area,
Yeah.
which involves all the parishes.
Yes, it does.
So,
across the peninsula.
Yeah. So I'll bring that up in any other business.
Yeah,
or-
okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk about
Yeah.
that when we get down to
Yeah.
it, when we talk about the
Yeah.
other groups that we are involved with and the work that
Do
they're
you want a
doing.
copy of my letter?
I know, Hilary, because it won't make any difference.
Okay.
It will come down to you as an individual
Okay.
to have to log
But
on.
I'm
West
glad
Sussex.
I've raised it.
Yeah,
here,
no, that's fine, Hilary. That's
Okay,
absolutely
yeah.
fine.
Okay,
Okay.
because I would hate to see a teenager get killed.
Yeah,
there.
no, I fully understand that.
Thank you.
Okay, right. Any other questions? No. Okay, all right then. Well, that will be it for the public session. And now we'll do
Sorry,
district
Chair.
and also
Am I next?
you will be
Brilliant,
there. Yes,
thank
we've had documentation from Sarah, which we've all had the
Yeah.
opportunity to open
Good,
and
yeah.
read.
I sent 3 documents
Yeah,
last
no,
week.
that's fine.
That's
Did
good.
you want to do a quick synopsis of yours? Because I know you've
I
other
sent
things
it
to
to
attend to. Yes, okay. That's fine.
And really, about the only thing is on.
Sorry,
That's all right.
carry on.
That's
Dave.
fine. And on planning, as in housing
Yes.
planning, there was an email sent to Carol and to all parish councils today, giving dates for planning committee training and
Right.
planning training for parish councils, because there are some considerable changes agreed at cabinet last week, and I'll be going through them tomorrow at full council, and there are going to be changes in the planning rules. Nothing desperate. The planning committee is getting smaller, but there are changes with red carding, the time you've got, as in not just 21 days, we've agreed 28 days, so it's more, but it's really important. I know
Yes.
you're up to speed,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
important I pass it on.
Yeah, no, that's good.
That's initially there'll be some flexibility, but the 28-day rule will be enforced. It'll be a guillotine, so to speak.
I think it's coming, is it 25th of May or something like that, Dave?
I'm saying, and there is. We've said that there must be some flexibility until parishes get used to it.
Yes.
But it's really important that we as a village and parish council don't miss the opportunities for objections. It's part of there's been a consultation with there's a planning body that has done an audit, and so we're reducing the size of the planning committee by 2 and changing some of the rules. They give some better flexibility, but what it does mean is that the time will be spent properly on debate. We have retained the 3-minute rule for speakers, which I'm really pleased about, because it was suggested it would be cut to 2, and we were very unhappy with that, so that has been changed.
Okay.
So it's just really making you aware that there are 2 dates coming up, and also that I resigned from the planning committee. I'm now no longer on the planning committee. I am vice chair of the council. That sort of gives me a lot of other work, opening supermarkets and restaurants and things. So I'll be watching planning very closely because it's an interest of mine, and also it means that I can represent wards without being there is the difficulty of not being predetermined. I have to balance, listen to all the arguments, and I have to go into a meeting and make an objective opinion. When I'm representing the wards now, I can approach it with the same objectivity, but listening and talking much more. One of the examples was the recent. I got a deferment on the solar panels in North London, and then with one of my fellow councillors and planning committee, we actually turned down the revised, which was good. It'll almost certainly go
to appeal.
But it was the balance of argument was really difficult. And I was going to North London, I was having to say to people, don't talk to me about this. You know. So I'll be able to represent everybody a lot better. Plus the fact, not being particularly well, it was blooming stressful.
Yes, I'm sure it was, Dave. I'm sure it was.
I just wanted to fill you in on that.
No, thank you. That's greatly appreciated.
Yes. And the documents I've sent about devolution, some of the issues which will come up tomorrow at full council, plus housing, and how the local plan is going, are included in those documents. I hope. Yes. Good.
Yes, and Carol has shared that with your documents
that's fantastic.
with us today.
No, thank you very much.
So we've had a chance to read those.
That's
thank
really,
you very
really
much,
good.
David.
Okay, and I apologise. The good thing is, as I live in the village, I can pick up stuff, but I've got to get to another meeting now.
That's fine, David. Thank you very
and
much
I'm
for
always
coming.
available for questions, as you know.
That's lovely.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank
too.
you.
Thanks for your work.
Thank you. Okay, now we come down to apologies for absence.
So can I
just
update, just in from Sarah, late this afternoon.
Oh yes. This is Sarah Sharp, West Sussex County Council. Oh yes.
West Sussex have taken back possession of the quarry.
Oh right, because we asked about that at a previous
We did,
meeting. Yes, we did. Okay.
And they've got security on site.
Right.
And that there will be an options study undertaken to decide what to do with the site going forwards.
Okay, fine. So if anybody asks us, we can just say that
Yeah.
West Sussex have taken back control of it, and it's a work in progress
Yeah.
at the moment as to what will happen next.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Lovely. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Sarah, in your absence. Yes, and talking of absence, apologies for absence. Well, we know about Becky because she's on honeymoon.
Yes, and I've just had apologies from Theo and from Charlene.
Okay, that's fine. That's okay. There's enough of us here to keep it moving. That's good. Thank you very much to the rest of the councillors for attending. Right, declarations of interest and code of conduct. Has anybody got anything they want to say about that? No? We're all on no on that one then, Carol. Thank you.
So can I just go through this here? So can I just ask that you all send me an email confirming that there have been no changes to your register of interests?
Okay.
And if there have been changes, can you let me know what they are,
Bye.
please?
Bye-bye, David. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, just right, Carol. Yes.
And there's been no dispensation requests.
Okay, that's fine.
No changes, is there?
Yeah.
Yeah, all you need to do is just send me an email saying I confirm there are no changes to
Okay.
my register of interests.
Remind us.
Yes,
My secretary.
If I haven't had it by Friday, I shall remind you myself.
Yeah. I'll try and do it when I go home so I don't forget, and then that's done. Too many other things going on. Right, okay. Consent to receive summons.
So likewise, can you please all send me an email
Yeah.
confirming that you're happy to receive your agendas for the meetings via email?
Yeah.
Because my email.
I'll copy everyone in and then you can just put ditto on it.
brilliant, thank you.
Agendas.
Sorry, my phone's rubbish.
Electronically. Yeah, oh no, I have to have a notepad and pencil, otherwise I'm completely useless. Okay, that's fine. Right, to confirm the appointment of the responsible financial officer, well, that's normally you, Carol. Are you
Yes.
happy to continue in that post?
Yes, I am.
Thank you very much. That's lovely. Do I need anybody to second that?
That would be helpful, thank you.
Okay, there Martin has seconded. Right, then we come down to standing and statutory committees. So it's to confirm the membership of the Parish Council's Planning Committee. Well, we don't have a planning committee as such. We come together as and when people put in a planning request.
Yes.
Okay. Staffing Committee. So are the people who are on the staffing committee happy to continue? I'm aware two of those people aren't present.
So I think that at the moment I would suggest that we abandon the staffing committee.
Okay.
Not something that I would personally like to do.
No.
But I think trying to get people to additional meetings is just too difficult.
Yeah, when they already have
At the moment.
full-time jobs and everything else, it's hard, I
Yeah.
know, okay. The events working group, is that the events committee, the events working group? Is
Yeah.
that the same thing? You're happy to continue on there, are you? Yeah, as am I. So that's fine. And then the other people on that group are non-councillors anyway, they're made up from people from
You know,
parts
I'm
of the
just
village.
here as a rule, help and out.
Yes, you do, Martin, you're a wonderful volunteer,
I know,
thank
I
you
know.
very much indeed.
I'm not obliged to be on the events. So.
Yes. Right, next item, to appoint parish council representatives to various outside organisations. Now, these are, Benedict, different groups that we attend because it's relevant to the parish. So at the moment, you do GLAM, don't you?
Yeah.
You and Martin do GLAM, and I've written it all down so I know what they are. That is the green links across the manhood. So they're trying to get a footpath, cycle path in. We talked about it at the last meeting. So those guys do that. I am on the MPP one, which is the Manhood Peninsula Partnership. And so that's done with all the other parishes in the area, and it's where we look at what did it say last time? We're currently looking to see whether we're a good fit for the hyper-local agenda within the devolution white paper. So we're having to get heavily involved with that in order to make sure that not only this parish but the other parishes on the peninsula have are properly representative and their voices heard. And the last meeting we went to, one of the things that got spoken about, and this touches on what Hilary was saying and comes up constantly, was traffic speed and road safety campaigns on the peninsula. There was people from Hunston Parish Council. I know they have a huge amount of problems down there. Again, they've got roads where there's no footpath. The one going to the school, for instance, more people would like to walk their children to school, but there's no
Yeah, I would
footpath.
say that did come up last week.
Yeah, it's the same thing, yeah. And then we have SWISH, which is Surface Water Issues and Solutions. But you're very much into climate and things, I think, aren't you? Are you? Or have I misunderstood that?
I'm not into it.
Oh, fair enough. That's fine. We have somebody on there, which at the moment is me, but it can be anyone from the parish council. So I think perhaps if we give Benedict a bit more info on these groups, if there's any there you'd particularly like to be a part of, if what they're doing is interesting to you and you feel you could contribute something towards it, then obviously we'll...
Is it just those three?
Yes, the other one, I was reading my notes before I came away, and the project manager for all these at Chichester District Council is would really like to ensure that there are parish representatives on the MPP, the Manhood Peninsula Partnership, GLAM, which these guys do, and SWISH, which looks at climate, wastewater, and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But we'll get some info to you, Benedict.
Yeah,
and
like
then
am
you
I
can have a-
interested?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you don't have to, but obviously it's nice if we can kind of spread the load a bit
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, well that's fine. So I'll carry on doing, for the moment, I'll carry on doing MPP and SWISH then until we see if Benedict wants to do anything. And you guys happy to continue on GLAM? Okay, that's fine. So that covers the
stuck
three
with you,
groups
so
that
I'm
they're
stuck
keen
with
on
you
up
then.
here, this one.
Me too.
And, oh yeah, the WSLAC, yeah, and the CDALC, I'll do those two as well. It's normally me, so I'll just do those, that's fine. They're generally online, so it's not too bad.
Oh, that's
I can do
definitely.
it from London if I'm there or
Face-to-face
whatever.
ones.
Yes, yeah. Well,
It's better
at the moment, I quite like those. Other people do a lot of talking and I do a lot of listening, so that's fine. I don't need to talk all the time, believe you me. Right, okay, in that case, now we've covered all those, let's go on to policy adoption and review. So it says, to confirm the use of existing standing orders, financial regulations and other policies adopted by the council, and note the need to review these throughout the year. So is there anything in particular we need to be aware of, Carol? Otherwise, are we just agreeing to continue as normal?
You're just agreeing to continue as normal, so every month I have on the agenda
Yeah,
policy review.
yeah.
So they don't all get reviewed every year, but they'll all get reviewed every a minimum of every 2 years.
Yes, because not all of them
Yeah.
need to be done every year. No, it's a bit like at the hospice with some things. I'm happy to propose that. Can I have a seconder, please? There we are. Sue's going to second that. So basically, we're going to do business as usual on that front. Right, okay, that brings us down to the minutes. To confirm and sign the minutes of the council meeting held on the 17th of March. Well, I read those this afternoon. I didn't have any questions. Thank you very much. What's the date today? 19th. Thank you. I think I'd know, wouldn't I? Okay, right. I'm going to sign the corners. Sign the corners. And then page 3. very much, Carol. Right, next agenda item, actions update.
So
This is
just
Carol, who do this.
very briefly, as David alluded to, the solar farm at North London has been refused. The claim has been registered with the insurance company for the replacement of the trampolines, and new trampolines have been ordered.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything recently. I did chase the insurance company last week, but I'll chase that up again next week.
Lovely. Yeah, it'd be nice to get those back working again. Let's hope they don't get
And also the
vandalised
safety
again.
issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, the safety issue.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's a big hole there.
I know we keep
I know.
putting tape on to
I
take
know.
it off, and
Yeah.
They keep
Yeah.
removing
Yeah.
it.
removing it.
Yeah.
Jump the trampoline into the sand. Brilliant.
Right, okay, so the next item is external meetings, to receive reports from external meetings attended by councillors and approve any recommendations made.
Well, thank you, Sue.
I've got sore throat.
Yeah,
Well-
so Marty's going to talk about Glam now.
Yeah, well, we had a meeting last week, which was quite funny because half the councillors never turned up.
Oh,
And we don't know why. So whether they never got the message or not, I don't know. Well, we had the meeting over the field here the other week. That all went very well with the farmer and the landowner.
oh, the church commission own it, but the farmer's
Yeah,
the tenant.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we had all that, and that went very well. So we got quite a positive move from there. One of the main sticking issues is the bit in the middle of Silversham, which isn't our parish, obviously.
No.
But there was one thing that came out of it, that I think it's the 16th of June, isn't it?
16th June and the 26th.
No, 16th of June, when they want to get all the parishes in the area together,
Right,
even if they're not involved with the pathway,
yeah.
which will obviously be Burdham and everywhere else,
Yeah.
around Mundham and whatever. And they want to have a meeting, and they provisionally booked up to have it in Silversham, where they normally have their meetings, but they don't know at the time that the hall was free. So I said, as a backup, I'll find out if we are free on the 16th of June, if they can't get into Silversham.
okay,
What-
Carol's just going to have a look
What
at it.
time are they wanting
It'd be
to
9:30 till lunchtime, I think they
I
said,
think
didn't
so.
they?
It was quite a big one, wasn't it?
Mm.
But there was also 26th of June.
I think she had something there. That's
I
the
wrote that down.
Oh,
that's the normal one, I think.
Yeah.
So you want the 16th of June?
Yeah, only if we can't get Silversham, which I shall find out probably on Friday whether we've got it.
9:30 to
No,
12:30.
I've got class in from 10:30 to 11:30.
Oh, right. So that's how then we can't.
I don't know. I know it doesn't involve North London, but they've got quite a big hall there. They might be
Yeah.
able to let you.
Yeah, and one of
hire it.
the issues that did come up, we thought that if this goes back to Hillary's thing, that perhaps as a collective, if we all go in together, we can get something done about a speed limit throughout the area.
Yeah, all
40
the
mile.
parishes together. you
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
yeah.
sort of a maximum of 40 mile an hour or whatever.
Yeah.
If we're all,
Well, it's only
On
meant to
the
be
same-
30 through the village.
yeah,
anyway,
yeah,
isn't
but
it?
a lot of
Yeah.
the other roads it goes from 30 up to 50, doesn't
Yeah,
it? You know?
yeah, it does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I think they
there's
were
several
changing,
round
weren't
Silversham, especially round by the school, and
Yeah.
apparently they're still 40 mile an hour.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I know. That's fine.
Um,
So will it be just you two guys as your Glam representatives going to this meeting? You
Yeah,
don't-
yeah,
you
yeah,
don't
yeah.
require
It's
any
just
more
be
parish
it'll probably be
councillors?
whoever's, because it's a daytime meeting, so whatever councillors are probably available.
Okay, fair enough.
On that
That's
day,
fine.
yeah.
Right. Well, we'll leave the rest of this council. Then we'll leave you two to
Yeah,
represent us
yeah.
and
I
all
should
on
just
that.
say that we're,
I think I might
you know,
invite
obviously we can't use Silversham, but they said there shouldn't be a problem. I said, well, I'll just check in case there was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we can't use it.
No, sadly, no. We've got something
No.
in our hall, Martin.
Was it last
But-
Thursday?
Okay.
It was last Thursday.
I think.
Right. Yes. So as I said a bit earlier, I'm on the MPP. So our last meeting, and our meetings were online, where we talked about it was primarily about the traffic speed and road safety, and we did have somebody on West Sussex who sort of gave a presentation. And you know, was explaining how highways work and everything else. It's actually really difficult trying to affect any change at all across the area, but I think they intimated that what you're doing is probably the right way to go about it. If you've got the
Collective
numbers,
bodies,
yeah, then that might work better. But it's acknowledged by everybody that it is a problem.
Yeah.
And the other thing, as I said, we talked about was the local agenda, how that will fit in with the devolution white paper to make sure that the parish councils get proper representation and their voices are heard, particularly if there's any areas of concern amongst all this. But it's such early days that for us there's not a lot happening. It's happening much higher up with the people who've been tasked with project managing it.
Yeah.
Okay. And the Swish one about the water, they were looking at the joint Siddlesham and Selsey flood group pilot programme that they've got going on, and they were reviewing it. There's a lot of what they're doing is more to do with Selsey and down that way and the flooding issues they have down there, as opposed to what happens here. But I guess you could say it impacts if it starts to kind of move back from there. But a lot of talking going on at the moment, a little bit of project work, but not much else, if I'm honest. Okay, anybody got any questions on any of that? Okay, lovely. All right, then we'll leave that there. Communications, to receive an update on communications to residents, village events that have taken place, and consider future events in the village. Well, obviously the voice has just gone out, so people have had the newsletter.
Well, not everybody has.
Well, no, I'll take some of those and
So
try and deal with some of that
There's
tomorrow.
Charlene's route and Theo's route there, if
Right.
anyone can help out with those.
Yeah.
That would be really helpful.
Yeah, I'll take some and do some tomorrow.
There's still 2 more routes in the shop, but they're being picked up by people Tuesday and Wednesday.
Okay, fair enough, fine, we'll have a look at that, even if we split some of it, to break it down into smaller routes. We'll have a look at that afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay, village events, well, we had the VE Day celebrations recently. The people who came thoroughly enjoyed it. Sadly, we didn't have the numbers, and I know that the events committee are meeting tomorrow morning. And we will be discussing about whether we try and do something like that again, because 3 years ago we had a really good turnout. Last year about the same number, well, probably a bit less, didn't we, last year? And then we had about 60 this year, and there's such a lot of effort goes into it, time. Sue Waite, bless her, spends goodness knows how much time doing all the catering. And we're not sure it's worth it for the amount of take-up that there is. So that will be discussed tomorrow. And there is a quiz night happening at the end of July. We've not done one like that before, so we're trying it.
Where are you getting the fish and chips from?
That's going to be discussed at tomorrow's meeting.
Yeah.
But I did speak to somebody else who does one at Donington Village Hall on behalf of St Wilfrid's Hospice. And they use a mobile fish and chip van person. They come to the car park and do it from there. So we'll discuss that tomorrow, and that might be the way we have to think about going. But we having got the VE Day one and out the way, that was our priority.
Did you want me on Friday, because we have a fish and chip van here, to speak to the chap here, whether he'd be interested in
Tony's
that?
already. I think Tony's already spoken to him, and he said
and
no.
he'll be at
He's
tomorrow's meeting. So
And he said no, wasn't
I think so,
he?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that is going to put a fly in the ointment. Yes. So.
So you get your cooking clubs.
Yeah, so that's the next thing. So we'll talk about that tomorrow, and then obviously later in the year we've got like Halloween, and then we'll have Christmas with the Christmas market and the Christmas carol service. But our focus at the moment will be on the quiz, and then after that we have to think about the family community day, or the village community day is a work in progress at the moment. We're doing a lot of work on that already, which is at the end of August.
The club's doing one on Monday, the barbecue in the afternoon.
That's it, because you're using the outdoor games, I think,
Yeah,
aren't you,
yeah.
some of them?
Yeah, I shan't be using that big cup snakes now, doesn't
No.
take up too much.
Yes, yeah, but there's other
The
stuff
little
there.
ones on
Yeah,
the table.
yeah,
Well, I should see Carol on Friday, so I'll get in covered together.
Okay.
Are you here Friday, Carol?
Yes.
okay,
Okay.
lovely.
Can I ask what
You can ask
you
what
said
you
it was
like, really.
60?
attendees for the VE Day.
Yeah,
What numbers were you like hoping for?
around 100.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. 60 is about 0.5 of the number of people in the village.
Yeah.
So it's so tiny. And there are lots of reasons why people don't come. Some people live in the village, they like living out here, but they're not really interested in engaging in anything.
Yeah.
Maybe there are other things going on. There could be a whole raft of reasons, but we did a free lunch last year. We've done under a different heading. We've done that free lunch and VE Day. We thought people might engage more because it was the celebrations, and we had the free games and all that. It just hasn't. It's not really
I
taken
was
off
just
with
interested
people.
in confirming numbers.
Yeah,
and
so
stuff.
it maybe if we drop it, some people might miss it or ask about it, and then we could consider bringing it back again. But we're going to have to try different things in order to try and sort of pique people's interest, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's that with the communications. The next item is Hunston Village Hall. Any quotes received and agree the next steps for the village hall? Well, at the moment we're still sort of, I suppose you might call it fact finding really, still trying to pull information together. We did have a meeting, you were at that, Benedict, I think, weren't you, the village hall meeting that we had, and we sort of talked about different ideas and things we were going to do. I will be saying a little bit about this at Friday's meeting, so that anybody from the village that comes will get an update. But it's still very much almost in the embryo stage as to what we do and where we do it. There's not much more to say about it than that, is there?
No, it's been quite interesting talking to Kana about trying to engage support from the younger residents.
They're very much on the electronic front, aren't they?
Yes, but even on the electronic front, they're so involved in other stuff. So we might want to sit down and have a chat with Kana, because she's quite happy to organise some groups of mums from North London to come and listen to what we might want to present regarding the village hall.
Yeah. But I mean,
We need to find some way of getting more engagement, because 45 people isn't enough to make a decision.
Well, no,
either
we
go ahead with
you
the
know.
project or not go ahead
No,
with the
it's
project.
like 0.5 again, isn't
Yeah.
it? So, yes, so no, that's still very much a work in progress.
Yeah, but we're still waiting for quotes to get back to us.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, you still waiting for some quotes to come in, Carol?
I think most of them are in, but I don't have easy access to them at the moment, because I
Right.
think they're on the other laptop.
Oh,
Alright,
right,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we'll get it somewhere.
Yeah. So the next item is the clerk's report and correspondence. So to receive an update on general correspondence and ongoing tasks, and to finalise the arrangements for the annual parish meeting. So, what would you like to say about that,
Right,
Carol?
so the 2 days that David was talking about for the planning training
Yeah,
are Wednesday the 18th of June from 5 until 7,
right.
or Monday the 23rd of June from 5 until 7, if anybody is interested. It will be at CDC's office in
Okay.
Chichester.
I might try and do the Monday. Wednesdays are no good for me because I'm normally in London in the middle of the week, but I will try for the Monday, just so that I understand what's going on.
I'll send an email out to everybody
Yeah.
to
Well,
remind you
perhaps
to
I'll
have a look.
phone on free on the Monday. I'll
Yeah,
come with you or what.
yeah, that's fine,
That's-
Martin. Yeah, absolutely fine. Okay. And then the agenda's gone up for the Friday meeting, the annual parish meeting.
Yes, so I will, I said what I'd do is I'd put together some PowerPoint slides. Not a huge number, but some PowerPoint slides so that Wendy's got something to refer to
I can
for
point
the
at a
annual
big stick and say,
parish meeting.
yeah,
And I think what I'll do is some pros and cons for the village hall, because I think it's important that people understand that A, it's not fait accompli,
No,
and
definitely is
B,
not.
the reasons why we think something across the road is going to be more beneficial long term than trying to do something with what we've got
Yeah.
here.
yeah. And it may turn out that they're the only one in the village uses the village hall or is interested in the village hall. You know, but we won't know until we try and engage them a bit more anyway.
And the classic example was a group who book the hall once a month for a support group who now go and meet in the community club because they can't hear themselves because the hall's too big and too echoey. So they can't sit down and do what they wanted to do, which was sit quietly and drink coffee and eat biscuits and chat about their polymyalgia issues because they can't hear each other.
Whereas if we had like the hall in a smaller room, then obviously you'd have a smaller room that you could let people
Yeah,
use.
meeting
But
rooms sort of
but a
thing.
perfect example of the 16th or 19th of June, the 16th, when you've got somebody else in there,
Yeah,
you could have another room
yeah,
to be able to
Yeah.
hold the other meeting.
yeah.
It's a perfect example.
Yeah, at the moment we've just got the one space, so it does penalise us in some ways. And it's not the kind of space we can divide, I don't think, very successfully.
Ring ceiling then.
Yeah, well, we'd have to, you know, if we ended up like knocking down the annexe and building back and doing that kind of thing, then we could look at, you know, incorporating something
There's
that
enough
way.
room to do so, isn't there?
Yeah, but they're just talking points and ideas at the moment where we work through different ideas really to find what is best for the village and best for the villagers. But hopefully something with a long life in it, so that, you know, the next 2 or 3 generations will have something really good.
Yeah, so you go over to
Yeah.
Silversham and they've got 2 or 3 little rooms over there
Yeah.
that they can have small meetings in.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
other
Yeah,
things.
that kind of thing, Martin.
Yeah.
As we said before, when this was done, it was ideal at the time, but we're 30 years down the line now, and obviously what people want and their needs have changed a lot in that time. Okay, so Friday obviously is the annual parish meeting. Carol's doing this little PowerPoint for me. I'll talk about that. We've got the
PCSO
That's
is coming
coming
to talk about antisocial behaviour.
I was going to say a little bit about the piece of land up the road that we cleared, that we're going to try and do something with, possibly with the free school or whatever, up near Foxbridge.
Oh, yeah.
Out, what's that, Farm Close, is it up round there?
Outram Way.
Outram Way, up round there. And then we'll do a Q&A. But we'll ask people to just one question per person, so that, you know, there's a fair spread then, because nobody wants to be there 2 and 3 hours answering
Diverse
questions.
ideas. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's fine with that.
And I've sorted refreshments out with Lily at the club.
Lovely, good, that's what we normally do, so that's excellent, thank you Carol.
The club did say to me just now, would it be better if we sort of redirected people into the club to get a drink?
No, because
Because I,
if I redirect people, then they won't stay and talk to the councillors.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'd rather have the
Yeah.
stuff in.
yeah, so
So
that they
that-
stay
Yeah,
where
stay
they
there.
are and
Everybody's
talk, either
still
between
there.
themselves
Yeah,
or to
yeah,
us or whatever, yeah.
it was only just those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's fair enough, Martin, thank you. Right, we come down to finance now. Receive a financial report of the year ending 31st of March, and these were in the supporting documents that came out, which we all have read prior to coming to the meeting. And everything I read I was happy with, so do you want me to approve and then ask someone to second?
Yes, please.
Right, okay, I approve the financial report. Would somebody like to second it?
Well, Susan Lewis.
I'm next door to them.
Okay, that's
My
fine.
finger's dying.
Okay,
Excuse me.
and then we had the internal audit report, which I think, Carol, you've got that here, haven't you? Yes, so I'm fine with that. Would anybody like to second that? Then Martin will. So that's good. Thank you very much. Then we had the annual return. So the annual governance statement.
Right,
I think Carol had something she wanted to say on this.
yeah. So, this page of the annual governance statement has to be approved by the parish council. There's a whole load of questions on there.
That was
Really
all
for
that we got.
Benedict's benefit, I will just go through them
Yeah,
one by one.
we get these each year, don't we?
So the first thing you have to agree to, either yes or no, is that you have put in place arrangements for the effective financial management during the year and for the preparation excuse me, of the accounting statements. So we have a set of accounts and audit regulations that we have to follow, and so as your responsible financial officer, I am happy that we've done everything as we need to for the parish council. Are you happy to say yes to that question?
Yes, yeah, that's fine.
You have maintained an adequate system of internal control, including measures designed to prevent and detect fraud and corruption and review its effectiveness. So we have proper arrangements for safeguarding public money. So every parish council meeting there is a bank reconciliation, there's a budget monitoring statement which shows how much of the budget has been spent up to that point in the year. And then the third aspect to that is that once every quarter, one parish councillor, usually Sue, undertakes a check of all of the invoices against the bank statements and the cash book. It sounds a lot more complicated than it is, but are you happy to answer yes to that question?
Yes.
Yes, see now.
Yes, you can see now, well done.
Yes. We took all reasonable steps to assure ourselves that there are no matters of actual or potential non-compliance with laws, regulations and proper practices that could have a significant financial effect on the ability of this authority to conduct its business or manage its finances. So that basically means that we've only done things that we have the legal power to do. And at the moment we have the general power of competence, which means that we can do anything that an individual can do, providing it's legal. The only caveat to that is that that power was granted in May 23 when we had elections, because 2/3 of our councillors were elected in those elections. Subsequent to that, those councillors are now not all here, so we're below the threshold, and that means that we can't start any new projects under that power, but we can continue the ones that we have already got on the go.
Yeah.
So are you happy that we answer yes to that
Yes,
question?
yes.
We provided proper opportunity during the year for the exercise of electors' rights in accordance with the requirements of the accounts and audit regulations. So at the time that we do audits, there's a notice of electors' rights which goes up on the website and on the notice boards, and ours is all in order. It has been checked by the internal auditor for the year. So are you happy?
Yes,
Say yes.
that's fine.
We carried out an assessment of the risks facing the authority and took appropriate steps to manage those risks, including the introduction of internal controls and or external insurance cover where required. So the internal control is the inspection that is carried out once a quarter by a councillor. It doesn't necessarily have to be Sue, but she's been doing it for the last couple of years. We have insurance, adequate financial insurance. We have something called a fidelity guarantee, which covers you should I decide to run off with your money.
Not worth it for what we've
And
got.
every year we undertake a risk assessment for the parish council.
Okay,
Are
that's
you happy
fine.
to say yes to that one?
Yes, Carol.
We have maintained throughout the year an adequate and effective system of internal audit of the accounting records and control systems. So twice a year we have an internal auditor who comes in and audits. So they do an interim audit in October, which generally covers governance. So are we doing things correctly? Are we recording things correctly? And then the end of year, which is mostly the accounting stuff. So are you
Yes.
happy?
Yeah.
And they provide extensive reports. You'll have seen from the internal auditor's reports, they're very thorough.
Yeah, that was in the documents that you sent for this meeting.
We took appropriate action on all matters raised in reports from internal and external audit. Up until this point here, we haven't had any matters raised in internal audit, and the external, in fact, I don't think we had anything on the external audit report last year either. So, but in any event, if there was anything written on there, it's an item on the agenda, so it will be discussed at the parish council meeting.
Yeah, so that's fine.
We considered whether any litigation, liabilities or commitments, events or transactions occurring either during or after the year end have a financial impact on the authority, and where appropriate have included them in the accounting systems. We don't have any issues like that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You happy?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And then this is the one that's we have to answer no to. So trust funds, including charitable, in our capacity as the sole managing trustee, we've discharged our accountability responsibilities for the fund's assets, including financial reporting and, if required, independent examination or audit. And I'm really sorry that we have to answer no to that question. So the way that you report charitable accounts is if your income or expenditure is over 25,000, and often ours is not, you just do the accounts online and it's all sorted. But if your income or expenditure exceeds 25,000, you have to go and have them independently examined. So last year I took the accounts to the lady who generally does our village hall independent examination, and unfortunately she was seriously ill throughout the year, and it's been quite difficult because her husband's very protective of her, so I haven't actually managed to get any information out of her and get the actual accounts back. So I've made arrangements now with Mulberry & Co, who are the accountants connected with the local authority service, and I've got the stuff ready. So Mark Mulberry is going to do the independent examination of the village hall accounts for the year ending 23 and the year ending 24, because we've got the same issue for last year's accounts. So for this record, our charity commission entry is late. For next year it will be on time, because they're doing the auditing of the accounts for
That's
us.
fine and perfectly understandable in
Yeah.
the circumstances, Karen. The
Okay.
poor lady's got more than enough to worry about.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's fine.
So having answered all those questions, are you okay for Wendy and I to sign the annual governance statement?
Okay, can you just say yes for the recording?
I am.
Thank you. Try not to cough. Right, okay, so I sign here, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so the next one, this is the annual return to approve the statement of accounts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
there we
that
go.
was that page.
Yep.
So at the start of the year, we started with a general balance of a little under 65,500. We added our precept and other receipts, so that's income from the football team and our VAT return. We've taken off our staff costs, our public works loan board loan and all the other stuff, and at the end of the year we've ended up with a little over 65,000 in the account.
Yes, we're more or less where
So
we
we
were at the
just-
start. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's fine.
Are you happy for
Yeah, I'll go and
Um,
sign.
One
your
quick
question?
thing.
Yes.
Apparently we owe the club some money.
No, the parish council doesn't, the village hall does, that's nothing to do
Oh,
with
right,
that's
that's
not
nice.
to do with
Right, okay then. Yeah, right, that's that one sorted then, that,
Yeah.
so, quickly.
Fine, okay, so, oh here, I'm signing here, aren't I?
Yeah.
Sign my check.
What's
Yeah,
the
that's,
town, Richard?
that's the problem
town,
when you have
Richard,
like the parish council and then
Yeah.
you've got the village hall thing, so there's two bodies. And then they're both, so it can get a bit confusing. Right, okay, to confirm the dates for the notice of public rights.
So now that we have done all of this, we will just use the recommended notice of public rights. So that's a notice that will go up on notice boards on Monday the 2nd of June.
Okay,
So people will be able to make arrangements, sorry, excuse me, to inspect the accounts between Tuesday the 3rd of June and Monday the 14th of July.
okay, that's fine, lovely, thank you very much.
And
then,
that information means that they can write to the external auditor and ask for comments or information.
confirm regular payments made by direct debit or standing order.
So our direct debit payments are the Public Works Loan Board payments, data protection registration, phone, the mobile phone rental,
Yeah.
and broadband, including the landline.
Right,
And the two standing order payments are the staff salaries and pension payments.
okay, that's all fine, yeah. I'm all right with that. Somebody want to second it?
Yeah.
Well done, Martin, thank you. They're all our regular payments, aren't they? They won't happen all the time anyway. Right, approve the schedule of payments and receipts.
So there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5 payments. I can't remember if I've put them on the system or not yet, but I'll do it tomorrow morning.
Right.
To be approved, which is the monthly grass cutting contract, the CDC invoice for the collection of the litter and the dog bins.
Yeah, I didn't realise we had to pay for
No,
that.
I didn't think we did.
That was news to me, so that was, yeah, it was a school day today.
Paying for it.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
no, I
yeah.
gather, yeah, it's just.
Microsoft licenses for the parish councillors, the printing of the newsletter, and expenses for me.
Yes, that's fine,
That's
okay.
all.
Is that, is,
Sorry?
That's law now being paid.
Yes, it has. I don't know whether it's back. I haven't looked.
So how much do we spend on Microsoft licenses?
We have the basic licenses for the councillors. So
That covers
that's
email and then the other
that's-
stuff too.
that's just your access to Microsoft 365.
Yeah.
So that covers your email, Word, Teams,
Okay.
Excel, and if you wanted to go on there and do a PowerPoint presentation, that's
Yeah.
on there as well. And then the office staff, so 3 of us have the standard version, which means we get the desktop version
Yeah.
rather than the online version. So it gives us access to a few more things.
and what do we pay for that then?
For you councillors, it's £406 for the year,
Okay,
between 7 of you.
right, okay, that's, no, it's sort of
It's the
60
cheapest
quid each,
version.
isn't it? Yeah,
£60
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Are you happy to have you sign?
Yeah, I'll sign that, yeah. Do you want time to sign? Yeah, pass it over. There we go. We can sign everything, that's okay. Oh, yes, okay, so, yes, Sue and I have approved that, so I will approve. Do you want to second?
Yes, might as well.
That's fine. Thank you very much. Was that the schedule of payments and receipts? I
Yes.
lost my way now, sorry. Thank you. Bank reconciliation is next.
Okay. So we have slightly more in the account because we have received the precept payment for the year.
Right,
That came in on the 15th of April.
right.
So we have in the account £93,763.96. Of that, we have reserves for the village hall of 15,000. We have still reserves of a little under 12,000, and general reserves of 38,500.
Mm.
No.
No, and if you think we might have to spend some money on village hall repairs while we're sorting out what we're going to do, it won't take long to eat into that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm quite happy to approve that, Carol. Do you want me to sign it as well?
No, it's fine.
That's fine. Would somebody like